Alright everyone, here we are with some more Tsukihime. Let's continue. Its life has already ended. A quick and easy death. Even simpler than closing one's eyes. I'm dazed. My body may be at its limit, but my mind is even past that. Arcueid mentioned something about this. That I shouldn't look at death for too long. That if I push myself, the blood vessels in my brain will rupture and burn out. None of that matters to me. If this is how things were going to play out, if I were okay with winding up broken, I should have finished Roa faster. If I had, then maybe she might still. I collapsed face down on the ground. There's a pain in my ankle. When I turn to look, I see it. A monster dragging itself forward with only its right arm. Squirming, writhing, he climbs atop my fallen body. His bloodied hand wraps around my neck and squeezes. A maw of jagged teeth opens and reaches for my throat. Fangs meet flesh. They pierce the fragile skin of my neck. Then he's gone. In a single moment, Roa is sliced into 1,000 pieces.
危ない危ない。
Before me stands Ciel, her blades in hand. She's alive and well, albeit short of breath.
とまあ、これでこの人を殺したのは私ですね。
I'm not really following her here.
ですから、ロアを殺したのは私です。その功績も責任もすべて私にあります。あなたになんてただの一つもあげません。なので、遠野くんは手ぶらで何もできなかったといじけて帰っちゃってください。
Ciel smugly puts a hand on her hip to punctuate her words. She's so unfair. Just when I thought I'd never smile again, she forced one out of me.
先輩、それ詭弁だよ。
詭弁でしょうか。でも優しい嘘ならそれもいいと思います。たとえ偽善でもなんとなく救いがありそうじゃないですか。
It's not the first time I've heard words like that. They sound a lot like what someone said when I told her I hate what ifs.
そうだね。なんとなくどこか救いが残っているのかもしれないなら。
How happy that would be.
今は体の問題が先でした。大丈夫ですか、遠野くん。噛まれませんでした？
Ciel quickly lowers herself to examine my fallen body. My consciousness is slipping. My brain wants to rest. It doesn't want to keep thinking.
遠野くんってば。
Her voice fades into the distance. Remorse, regret, the headache carving into my brain, the warmth lingering on my palms. All of them fade away into nothingness, like a fever cooling after a long night. I remember looking up at the moon like this once long ago. Though my eyes stay open, my mind shuts down, like someone switched off a monitor.
Shiki様、朝です。お目覚めください。
A familiar voice drifts in.
シキ様、どうかお目覚めください。昨日に引き続き遅刻をなされますと、明葉様との約束を破ることになってしまいます。
It's hard to tell whether the voice is tense or composed.
では、僭越ながら、本日のスケジュールをまとめさせていただきます。今朝も明葉様にお叱りを受けるということで、2日目となると指導も体罰の域に達するかと存じますが。
It's good to know some things don't change. Jeez, could she paint a more terrifying picture?
起きるからちょっと待って。
Murmuring from the confines of my blanket, I slowly blink myself into consciousness.
おはようございます、シキ様。
はい、おはよう。
Still half asleep, I answer her and put my glasses on. It's just past 7 a.m. Like clockwork, Hisui has come to wake me as usual. I, on the other hand, seem to have just woken up on time today by chance.
朝食の支度が整っています。着替えが済み次第、食堂にいらしてください。
Hisui bids me farewell with a bow. I give a big stretch before pushing myself out of bed. After putting on my school uniform, I tidy up my desk, which is still a mess from yesterday's studying. I open up one of the drawers to stow some things away. My eyes fall to the knife tucked inside. It's lain here unused ever since that night. The curtains sway gently. History must have opened the window earlier. The sky is invigoratingly clear, though the breeze from outside feels a little chilly against my skin. After everything that happened, I woke to find myself back in my bedroom. Ciel must have carried me back. I still count my blessings that she never told Aki and the others I'd snuck out. It's been a month since then. My life is the same as it was before. The relationship I have with Akia hasn't changed, even after I learned the truth. Every now and then I'm reminded of what happened before, but in the end, we're still family. School hasn't changed much either, aside from the fact that they're still repairing the corridor I destroyed. No casualties were reported in the collapse. No one was injured. Not even a single bloodstain was found in the wreckage. Whatever might have been there vanished without a trace. The only thing that did change was the number of students on our school's register. I seem to be the only one who even remembers we're missing a third year. Soya is now free from serial killings that once plagued it. Since the killer was never technically caught, the city remains silent at night. But I predict things will go back to normal once another month or so has passed. In the end, it looks like I can carry on with my old life like nothing's wrong, even when it feels like I'll never fill the hole in my heart. One way or another, I'll manage. Sometimes when I recall our time together, I'm crushed by a feeling of utter helplessness, but I don't think I'll lose my mind anytime soon. I don't know if I'll ever be able to cope with the pain, or if I'll eventually just get used to living with this void. Our memories don't last forever. Even if I record all that happened and refuse to forget it, those moments, her mannerisms, the sound of her voice, all of it will fade in time. Vivid as they may be now, One day I'll look back on these memories as just another thing that happened to me once upon a time. But until that day comes, I find myself keeping the promises we made, even when I know it's pointless.
秋も時期終わりかな。
The outside air is so clean and crisp, it's practically suffocating. Taking a deep breath, I shut the windows. Class has ended. And though everyone else has gone home, I stay until the sky grows dark. The classroom is bathed crimson. Through the window, I watch the burning twilight fan out into the sky. The sun begins to melt into the vast horizon below it. I'll always be waiting for her. As long as I still remember our promise, I'll continue to wait right here until this vision vanishes into nothing. It's the one promise we never fulfilled. When this is all over, once we defeated the vampire, before you leave, do you want to do this again? Just one more time? She tilted her head in confusion, I think. So I wonder what it would be like if we just met, with no obligations hanging over our heads, nothing pushing us together. That's what I said. But really, all I could think of was her. I wanted to meet her as more than just two people forced together by fate. To spend at least one day as friends, doing pointless things and making meaningless memories. She sounded happy at the prospect. Okay, let's come back here when it's all over, Shiki. Even if it won't have any meaning, I just know it'll be a lot of fun. Her eyes widened for a moment, but then she nodded. And there, in a classroom steeped in sunset, she gave me her promise with an unabashed smile. I remember our promise. I remember her smile. I remember it all. And I'll never forget. I will not forget. I'll always remember our promise to meet here, in this room painted the fiery hues of twilight. The sun dips into the horizon. Seconds stretch into hours as I wait for the vermilion to dissipate. A time of serenity until the scarlet sky fades. In this suspended world, a moment feels the same as an eternity. I wonder, do most of Natsu's main characters, whenever they narrate in their heads, realize that they're poets? Or perhaps I simply lost my mind a long time ago. I continue waiting for someone who will never show, forever holding on to that brief happiness we shared. There's a click. Then, the sound of something brushing against the desk. I turn to look. The closed window is now open. I realize she's finally here, standing beside the window, dyed in rays of crimson. Nice. She doesn't move from the window. The distance between us seems too far to cross. even though she's standing right here before my very eyes. The words don't come. Even so, I feel terribly calm.
参ったな。本当はそっと消えるつもりだったんだけど、四季、いつまでも待ってるんだもん。放っておけないから出てきちゃった。
Her smile is gentle, almost bashful.
そりゃそうだよ。言っただろ、お前との約束は二度と破らないって。
そうだったね。ありがとう、約束を守ってくれて。
I could say the same thing, whether this is real or some illusion fabricated by my adult mind. I need to thank her for granting my wish.
でもごめんね、今度は私の方が約束を守れない。
なんで？
My own response catches me off guard. My voice wasn't angry or pleading, but gentle. I'm surprised and pleased that I managed to react this way.
四季には私がロアを追いかけている理由を話してなかったよね。実はね、私ずっと昔に一度だけ人間の血を飲んだことがあったの。その時に力の一部をその人間に取られてしまって、そいつはすごく強力な人になって。
It'd be a shock to me if she never drank blood at all. At least once, right? The picture comes into focus.
それがロア。
そう、その時まで私は吸血衝動というものを知らなかった。他の神祖たちも私にだけはないんだって信じてたみたい。けど私の衝動は単に来るのが遅かっただけ。その時まで、血に乾く時が来るまで、私は自分が吸血種であることさえ意識しなかった。だからあれがいけないことなんだっていうこともわからなかった。
Of course. She was taught nothing but the bare essentials. Never once did they think to teach her that she was the same as those she killed.
でもそれは弁明にならないわ。たった一度の過ちで私はみんな壊してしまった。だから二度と人の血は吸わない。けど一度でも血を吸ってしまった神祖は人の血を吸わないと正気でいられなくなってしまう。私がこうしていられるのはね、シキがロアを完全に殺してくれたから。今まで何度あいつを消滅させても消えるのは肉体だけで魂までは殺せなかった。けどシキはあいつの存在そのものを殺してくれた。おかげで奪われていた力が戻ってなんとか蘇生することができたんだ。でもそれが精一杯。私の中の吸血衝動はもう抑えきれないところにまでやってきちゃった。
Ah.
だから
So she can't stay.
そんなことどうでもいい。
シキとはもう会えない。約束破っちゃってごめん。
None of that matters to me. I just want you by my side.
約束守れるよ。
シキ、
俺の血を吸え。そうすれば何もかも解決じゃないか。
Time passes around us. Neither of us can say a word. The silence threatens to swallow us whole.
すごく嬉しい。けどやっぱりいいや。式の血はいらないよ。
なんで？俺の血じゃダメなのか？俺の血を吸えない理由なんかあるのか？
She nods quietly.
好きだから吸わない。
With a smile like a flower in the full bloom, she bids me the deepest of farewells. I take a deep breath. It takes every fiber of my being to hold back my emotions. I want to stop her. I want to stop her. I want to stop her. Even if it means killing her, I want to stop her. But her smile's just too radiant. I can't let my selfishness tarnish this moment.
さよなら。今まで本当にありがとう、シキ。
My throat trembles. I can't make a sound. Even so, I have to say goodbye. It's something I learned as a kid. How to part with those important to you.
俺は嘘つきだ。
どうして？シキは約束を守ってくれたよ。
どうしようもない嘘つきだ。お前を幸せにするって言ったのに。
I vowed I would.
ううん、そんなことない。私はこれから眠り続けるけど、その間にシキの夢を見る。あなたと過ごした時間はすごく楽しかった。だからその時の夢をずっと見るの。何の意味もないけど、それはきっとすごく楽しいよ。だからね、シキ、私は幸せだよ。シキはちゃんと私に幸せをくれたんだから。
My emotions catch in my throat. How? How can I?
優しいね、シキ。うん。やっぱり最後にお別れを言いに来てよかった。私、シキのことを愛してる。正直で危なげで、私にだけうるさくて一生懸命前向きだったあなたを愛してる。だからお願い、これからもずっとそのままで生きていってね。
For just a moment, there's a touch of sorrow to her smile. Then, with a final wave goodbye, she leaves, as though dissolving into the dusk. I've been gritting my teeth, desperately holding back the tears. She wore a smile to the very end, so I didn't want her to see me cry. But now the classroom is empty.
そっか。約束守ったじゃないか、お前。
Here in this classroom, you met me again. You kept your word. Although things were lost along the way, the story came to its own end. The curtain has fallen on the fleeting frantic time we spent together. When you think about it, goodbyes happen all the time. For me and her, it just came a little sooner than most. All things considered, I'm satisfied with this ending. She survived. And she told me she was happy, with a smile on her face.
嘘だ。そんなんじゃない。そんなものが俺は欲しかったんじゃない。
Yeah. I wanted so much more. I wanted to spend more time together. I wanted to talk about everything. I wanted to feel the warmth of her skin. I wanted to see her smile again and again and again. More than anything, I just wanted to make her happy. Happier than she's ever been before. Instead, she smiled until the end. She told me to keep on living. And then she left me here.
バカ野郎。
It was her last wish. At my core, I'm hollow as a corpse. She knows I'm nothing but a coward, always fighting back his fears. Even still, she smiled and told me to press on. To keep fooling myself no matter how hard this uncertain life gets. Until the day comes when I can look back on the present as another memory. But I can't. I just don't think I have it in me. How could I ever go back to living my old life? Even so, I've got to, so she can dream in peace. I have to grant her at least that much. By the time I realize it, the sun has long since disappeared beneath the horizon. The red sky has been painted over in deep blue. An indigo night, a brilliant white moon. They're all that remain. But it makes for a beautiful memory. I sigh. It's a long, full sigh, almost akin to a prayer. Even if she isn't here anymore, I still have to voice the words I forgot to say.
じゃあな。俺もすごく楽しかった。
So ends my final memory of her. Eventually, the moon will darken and the night will end. For now, the glass moon sits alone, parched in the night sky. A memory so distant, so fragile, it could shatter with a single touch. I'll keep gazing at it, forever, until dawn steals the night away. Okay. Amazing. So we reached the ending of Arcueid's route. So what I did here, guys. Well, before that, let me just say how much of an amazing game this was, and we're far from over. The thing is, I don't know if this game is this similar to the original, because the original was a full game in and of itself. But however, I did learn that this visual novel has a second half to it. So I do know that we have like other characters whose routes we can follow through on. I just don't know which ones in particular are open for this game and which one's open to the next. Because I do know that we now have Satsuki that's available, I believe, in the second coming game soon enough. But I don't know if we can still open up the routes for, I believe, Akiha, Hisui, Kohaku, and Ciel. So that's what I'm going to try and find out. So we're not really done yet. We still got to open up the other characters' endings thus far and their routes too. So, anything else, guys? Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.